Hey, everybody. How y'all doing? I hope you're doing good. It is. You know what it is. You know what it is? It is Talk It Out Tuesdays. Yes, indeed. And I'm ready to talk it out because it is so special that it is Talk It Out Tuesdays with Tori. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But I'm going to start out the show the way I start the show out. And then we're going to get into it like how we usually get into it. All right. And I guess I should probably tell you guys what the show is actually going to be about today. That would probably be a good idea. If you didn't get an opportunity to check the promotions, if you didn't see that, well, you're finding out right now. What about your friends? Yeah. It is What About Your Friends? We are exploring the seasons of friendship. We're going to understand the different types of friendship. That's what we're doing today in this podcast. All right. Because friendships have a positive influence on our mental and emotional health. And they are important. They're an important part of a fulfilling life. There are several types of friendships, including casual, close, childhood friends, long distance friendships. Each type of friendship holds its own significance and it can contribute to your overall well being. You know what I mean? Because you got friends. All right. So we're going to talk about it. Before we get into that, let's kind of shake off what we need to shake off. It's lunchtime. Before you even think about eating any food, I want you to be in a calm state of mind. So we're going to breathe. That's what we're going to do. And you know how we do it? We inhale to the count of 4. We hold it a few seconds and then we exhale. We hold that to the count of 4. We hold that a few seconds. And then we repeat that a few times. So let's go ahead and do it. Inhale to the count of 4. Hold a few seconds. Exhale. Hold a few seconds. Inhale to the count of 4. Hold a few seconds. Exhale. Hold a few seconds. One more time. Let's inhale. Hold a few seconds. And exhale. Exhale. How's that feel? I hope you're feeling as good as I am. Even though I woke up this morning and it was a little bit colder than I expected it to be, considering that it is now spring, I feel real good. But I'm ready to bring Tori in, so I want y'all to go ahead and give her some love. How you feeling, Tori? Unmute yourself, lady.
What it do? What it do on this Talk It Out Tuesday?
Well, you were Miss Talk It Out Tuesdays.
Yeah. So I got a topic for you today. I want to
Yeah.
talk about something I was thinking about over the past uh, week or so was about friends, how friends come and go, how friends could be your friend one day and not your friend the next, how the
Mm.
pruning season is so hurtful. And sometimes when we lose friendships, I can only speak for Tori. Sometimes it feels like a breakup because I'm one of those people. I value friendships. So when I lose friends, it hurts me. It hurts to the core. Hey, drunk, welcome to the show. It hurts me to the core when I lose friends because I place so much value on friendships. Sometimes, and I've just been doing some evaluating over the past couple of weeks or so, and I realized some friends that I consider friends. I was their friend, but they wasn't my friend. I pay attention to when people I like to celebrate people. People that really know me know I like to celebrate people, but it's not always reciprocated. I'm clapping for you, but you're not always going to clap for me. I'm understanding that
Mhm.
there are people that come into your life for a season, a reason, or a lifetime, but sometimes we get so caught up and holding on to the seasonal people. We get so caught up on holding on to the people that came into our lives for a reason to teach us a lesson. And then also, I
Okay.
don't know. Go ahead. I
Well,
was on. I was going to say
I
something
hear
about
you, but I wanted
you.
to ask you a question because you're
Sure.
absolutely right. We do all of those things, but why do you think that is? Why do you think we feel like we have to hold all of those friends into one particular category and we just kind of want to keep them all like forever and a lifetime? Why do you think that is?
Well, for me, I'm one of those people. I like to see the best in everyone, and I had this thing where thinking, well, I can fix them. You know what I mean? I want to
So
make
you're
them
one of
better.
those. You're one of those fixers.
Yeah. I like to think I can make things better, but that's not always the case. And at the end, and it's actually costing me because while I'm trying to help you, I'm hurting myself. So over the past week or so, I'm learning balance, which I should have learned a long time ago, but I'm still learning balance.
Yeah, it's important. I mean, I get it. I absolutely get it because friendships are important to us, but I mean there's several different types of friends. You have like casual friendships which are typically less intimate, but they still, they still provide social connections. You still have fun, enjoyable times. You go out, you hang out, and that's cool. That's a casual type of friendship. And then you could have like close friendships. That's kind of a higher level of trust. You do a lot more. You have a stronger bond, more of an emotional type of intimacy with your close friends, right? And then you have your
Absolutely.
childhood friends, they give you that familiarity. You probably went to school with, you grew up with, you live in the same neighborhood. You got your work friends. That's the type of camaraderie that you're gonna have at a workplace. They offer that type of that work environment support, right? So,
Absolutely.
it's important that we understand that everything kind of has its own category. We can't hold
Hmm.
them all in the same space.
Yeah, this is true. And I'm learning, some friends you don't have any animosity or beef or anything. You just no longer talk. And there's some friends you outgrow. And I'm understanding that because each friend you can't take with you every stage of your life. I'm in a totally different stage of my life where I was a few years ago. I'm in a totally different stage of my life as opposed to where I was a year ago. So we're constantly evolving, constantly changing. And some friends that we have, we outgrow. And I'm understanding that even though I try to hold on to some friends, but I understand sometimes I used to be one of those people that you remember back in the day or a few years ago, we would have this thing that we'll say no new friends. I'm learning
Yeah.
that sometimes those new friends are the people that you need. I'm learning the people that I've met over the past couple of years, they are more valuable to me than there's people that have been knowing me all of my life for like 30
Right.
plus years. There's people 30 years. Because like I tell you, when I lose a friend, it's like a breakup for me because I place so much value on friendships and
A
I may consider
breakup?
yeah, yeah,
Wait a
I
minute.
really yeah. Friendships to me, that's how much value I place on friendships. When I lose a friend sometimes because like I said, my issue is I place so much value on a person when they didn't value me at all. But when that friendship is lost because I place so much value on that person, they're not losing any sleep. I'm losing sleep because I'm
So
like, go ahead, I'm sorry.
you're fine, but so what it sounds like is, you go through some type of grieving process after any type of friendship situation happens with you where you're not as close as you were, or you've kind of gone in different directions. It doesn't have to be a hate thing, but you can peacefully and not really be too upset, I feel like. But that's just me because we're different people. We're coming from two different points of view. But wow, I have never really quite felt it like that. In some of my younger days, I guess I probably could say that, but not so much now. But
Yeah,
why do you
because in my
think you're in that place where you are now?
well, I'm just learning balance now. But I was there then because, like I said, I place so much value, and I'm learning. And I just was commenting on a post I made earlier today. I was telling someone that you have to live your life sometimes by invite only. Everyone
I like that. I like what you said there.
does not.
Seems
Which
like you're
part?
you're break you were breaking up a bit. So say
Can you
that
hear me?
again?
Okay,
Mhm.
I was saying that, it's invite only, and everyone doesn't need to have access to you. And I'm learning balance because a lot of times you have these friendships, whereas they're draining, and you have to learn to fall back
Mhm.
and be okay with that because we have to learn that I can't expect Tori from everybody. Like the type of person that I am, I can't expect that from Tanya. I can't expect this from the next person. You can't expect you from other people. You are
Mhm.
who you are. They are who they are.
Absolutely. I see we have, Drunk here in the building. He said, "Hey, Miss Tanya. Hey, Tori. How you doing, Drunk?" He actually has a question for you here in the comments. Uh, let's read this one. You
I
see it?
got a question. Yeah, I got a question for Tori. Do you have vetting process for friends? Not necessarily. When I'm meeting new people, I like to see how, like through conversation, I like to see how they think. I pay attention to how you treat people. Like I pay attention to the simple things. Like say we go to a restaurant and you know how the waiter or hostess may be a friendly person. I pick up on the small things, how you treat the person that you may never see that person again. I pay attention to small details. I pay attention to where how like when you tip people because I've actually went to a restaurant with a person and I'm big on tipping. I'm a big tipper, especially if the service is good. And I put a tip on the table and they removed it. They was like, "Why are you tipping them? They don't deserve all that." And I'm like, "That's what I feel that they deserve." And they was like, "When they get a couple or $1 or $2 from me, I'm not doing all of that." I said, "Me and you are different. Now, could you please put that
Right.
tip back on the table?" I was so upset, but I pay attention to small details. I pay attention to how you treat a maintenance person. I pay attention to how you treat the CEO because I feel like you should treat everyone the same. Every person to me is valuable because we all created in God's image. And that's just
So
how I feel. Go
I
ahead.
mean, with you saying that, it sounds
Mhm.
like you really are vetting, your friends because you're paying attention to some of those things. You're paying attention to their actions, how they're reacting to people, how they're treating people. To me, that pretty much sounds like a vet.
Well, he was asking, do I have a vetting process? And I was just saying that's just some things I don't necessarily consider it a vetting process, but those are things that if you're in my presence, those are things that I pay attention to, like details, small details, minor details.
Mhm.
I pay
Mhm,
attention to stuff
mhm,
like
mhm.
that. I pay attention to how you treat people. I pay attention if you're a person that gossips a lot, that talks about people all the time. I pay attention to a lot of things that people may not think. Because if you're
Well,
like,
what
for me, go ahead.
continue.
I was gonna say, if you're the type of person that you're constantly talking about people negatively all the time, that's a reason for me to fall back because I like to uplift people. I like to celebrate people. So if you're constantly dogging and talking about people, I fall back real quick to the point
I
where we may
got you.
no longer talk.
Well, do you feel like, um you have to talk to your friends every day? Is it how important? Because Does a friend you what does it really require for them to be your best friend or to remain that friend in your life where you're not feeling salty? Because Imma tell you something, if I'm your friend and I feel like I'm a good friend, number 1, we are not talking every day. If you are my friend, you already know not to call me. You probably one of
Mm,
my best friends if you know not
mhm,
to be calling me all the time. I'm not on the phone like that all the time. Um, you're my friend. We don't have to hang out all of the time. We can hang out like if we went out over the weekend. I mean, have a good time. Drinks, fun, whatever it is that we feel that is fun for us. And we might not hang out again for the next 6 months, really 2 years. Serious. I do not feel obligated in those type of ways. However, I am there if you need me. If you call me and it is something of, that is very significant, if it's an emergency, anything like that, you call me and you need me, I'm there. But we don't have to hang out all the time. We don't have to talk all of the time. And that's love.
I'm glad you said that because I'm the same way. I'm one of those friends. I'm not gonna talk to you every day, but you have. I'm now. I'm the same exact way, Tanya. But some people don't understand. Like if they text you or they call you, they expect for you to respond immediately. If they miss your call, if you miss their call, people got to understand. Sometimes you may be going through something. Sometimes you may be busy, or sometimes you may not even get the call or the message because there was a time where AT&T had some stuff going on and I wasn't receiving calls or texts. I had people mad at me because of a call and text I never received. But I can't talk to you
Wow.
every day. And there are some people that I'm the type of person I love my alone time. Not everybody
Right.
understands that. I don't like clingy friends. Sometimes I just need to just be off to myself. I'm like that too, Tanya. I can go out with you today, and we may not go out again until 6 months or a year later. But when we do
Mhm.
talk, we're gonna pick up where we left off.
I hear you. I hear Drunk says, he says, "I feel like I used to have Tory energy with friends, but after a few bad friendships, I'm a little bit cooler these days."
Colder. You
Colder,
colder.
right, colder. I get it. I get it. Some people take you through that. They really, really do. I can like I said, in some younger days, I will say that I do remember a particular friendship that, I'll share this. I'll share this. I had a particular friend, and we were really, really good friends. And we had gone off, and I'd gone to college. We're out in this world, and we meet again in another state. And that friend kind of betrayed me in a big way.
Mm,
And what kind of hurt me about it is because I realized that some of her new friends that she had become friends with, um, weren't necessarily being the best of friend to her because they were talking about her to me. And so
mm,
I'm looking out for her, right? And I'm looking out for a space and a place for us to go where I felt like, we would be more welcome. Like the energy that I felt in her apartment with the person that she had decided to be with just wasn't good energy. And when it comes to friendships and other, them having other friends or relationships, I'm very aware that you can't necessarily come between that. But just on my side of things, I was looking out for a space and place for us somewhere else. And if she would see that energy and she saw that energy, I knew that we had somewhere to be and go. But she really betrayed me in a really huge way. She was disrespectful to my mother, sending messages back and pretending that because I just left. I'm the type of person I don't. It doesn't take long for me to get a message if I feel the energy is not good. I'm
right.
gone, and I
Right.
I was literally gone. I'm talking
Right.
about leave everything where it is, because you have to, I had to evaluate that situation because I was very far from home and I had to think about what was worth it to me. I realized my friend wasn't being a friend. I was in a place where I had no friends because this was a new place for me, a new environment. And I said, no, you just got to go. And so I did. And believe it or not, I still don't consider her an enemy today, but we're not, we don't hang out or anything of that nature. But if she needs me for something, I'm there and she knows that. And that has been tested. I won't give any examples because then it would be too obvious of who I'm talking about.
Right.
But for me, that was very hurtful. I was in my 20s, like my early 20s at this time. So it was very hurtful. And even today, like I said, still not a hangout type of friend, but a friend who knows if she needs me, she can call my number. It hasn't changed. I'm right there. I'm going to get whatever needs to get done or anything like that. So I kinda get how you feel like, when you were talking a little bit earlier that a friendship could kind of feel like a breakup. That's probably
Mhm.
one of the friendships that I felt like was like a breakup because it was that hurtful to me.
Right. Especially when there's betrayal, when someone does something to you and you would never do that and but it hurts you so deep, like, why did they, because I had a friend that I was 30 years plus, and they did something very hurtful to me. And there's some betrayals. Now, I do believe in forgiveness, but when it comes to some betrayals, there's no coming back from. I do believe in that
Right.
you forgive at all costs, but not all the time. When you forgive, that does not mean reconciliation for all, every time you forgive. That doesn't mean we got to reconnect and we got to be buddies again. And some people just don't understand that. Now, like you, Tanya, I'm going to be cordial when I see you. I don't have
Mhm.
any, grudge or beef with you, but it'll never be like it used to be. Because I mean, I've been in a
Right.
situation where I was lied on, my character was assassinated, my name was slandered. They even put stuff on social media that wasn't true. But in all of that, I could have been I could have retaliated, but I chose, you know, the high road to just not say anything and just let it
I
be
get
and
you.
just walk away.
You
But it
you
could have
have to
been
be an
nasty,
adult.
but I don't believe in all this feuding, Facebook. I don't believe in that media stuff. So I was like, okay, cool. I just blocked them
No.
and kept it moving.
Yeah. You have to be an adult about it.
Yeah.
I feel like just opening those lines of communication, realizing that, okay, well, we're in some different spaces. We're, different aspects of our life. We don't
Mhm.
value the same things. And it's okay for us not to talk. It's okay.
Right.
It is
Right.
perfectly okay. Just like we say that everything has a reason and a season. So you take that, you can't expect it to be well, you know what? I was about to say you can't expect it to be warm in the winter and cold in the spring, but then that's kind of wrong because today in South Carolina,
Right.
it's spring and it's cold. But things do they have their season. They run their course. It's important for us to know when, it's time to let go. It's time to move. And it's not so much let go. I don't know, maybe I'm using the wrong terminology. Not so much let go, but to grow on. You
And
dig what I'm
seasons
saying?
change.
To grow on. You don't stay in elementary school just for the rest of your life because you loved it. You loved your 6th grade teacher, so you just refuse to go on. You're not gonna go to middle school. You're not going to high
Right.
school. You gotta
Right.
leave those stages. You graduate from those. So why can't we think about it like that? Why can't we graduate from certain friendships and relationships?
Yeah, it's necessary. And I had to learn that the
I s
you
Yeah,
have
I
to
see,
graduate
we
friendships.
got a couple people in here making comments. You wanna see what they're talking about?
Sure. Amina says, Amen for the low maintenance friendships. I love a proper attachment where it's bond, but not clinginess.
Ooh,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Um, I don't like no clingy friends. I don't like clingy clothes. So I know I don't have time for clingy friends.
Right, right, right. Can I put the
All
can I
right.
put comments up? Okay. Yeah, that was the one I was looking at. Drunk says, I think I stay away from deep friendships because I'm not good with betrayal, but I can betrayed. I can betrayed if we was never nothing in the first place. Meaning, I guess if you were not close to that person, the betrayal doesn't hurt as much. I think that's what you're meaning. And I think
Right, right, right.
for me, you're right. You're absolutely right. If you're not that close to the person, you're like, okay, that was expected. Because I believe in two. I don't know if people are like me. You can like, I'm a person I could pick up on spirits that people. That's why I don't like to hug everybody because I could tell if you hug
Mhm.
me, I could tell if it's not sincere. I can feel it.
Right,
Like you're saying, you may be smiling at me, but I feel the hate. If that makes sense,
right,
I'm not sure if I'm the only
right.
person that's that way, but I can feel it. I can feel it. I mean, I'm like, oh my god, I can feel it. And you know how
Well, see,
sometimes when you step into a room and you can feel it,
right.
that's why sometimes I don't always go where I'm invited. I may be invited, but I'm not always welcome.
There you go. But those type of friendships, right?
Mhm.
They fit into that casual friendship category, where they're typically less intimate. They don't really, you just go out for social connections. If you happen to be
Mhm.
out and you see them and you're social, it's a casual friend. And those type of betrayals, if a casual friend could truly betray you, if you feel that, um, I think that's kind of where that fits in? Or at
Yes,
least for
absolutely.
me.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then let me also say this. Oh, I like, yeah. Drunk says I agree. The energy is everything. Yeah, the energy is everything. And I want to say this too. We're in a day and age where we call people sis, we call people bruh. Now for me, if I call you sis, it's a term of endearment for me, and I don't take it
Mhm.
lightly. If I call you sis, that means I really, really value the friendship. But if I notice that there's some people that'll call you sis, they'll call you bruh, and they be the main person, they can't while they're hugging you and calling you sis, they're the one holding the knife that's in your back.
Yeah,
So when I call you sis, I mean it from the heart, but not everybody is that way. But like going back to what I said in the beginning, I can't expect Tori from everybody. I value
you're right.
friendship. Not everybody does.
Well, I tell you
And
what,
they can be calling you sis and be betraying you.
I tell you what, for me, like a red flag could be when
Mhm.
someone who doesn't really know me that close, who I feel like you really don't know me like that, and if the first thing they say is sis or, they come with that sis or bruh, typically I feel like they want something. That's just me. I feel like, okay, you want something and you trying to make this relationship seem like we're closer than we really are. So what is it?
Right. I experienced that too. Right. What is it that you want from me? Like DMX said, what they really want from me.
Exactly.
Drunk says the biggest snake I know tell everybody he love them, and they fam. So you know somebody like that too.
W We all do. And see, we get caught into the cultural conversation, the cultural
Yeah,
slangs, and they don't really mean that. Sis doesn't mean you
right,
my sister. Like, people
right.
say, "Good morning, queen," they do listen, they just trying to sound a certain way. They don't mean
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
They
yeah.
don't. What about long distance friendships? What do you think about that?
Some of my best friendships are long distance. Like some of my closest friends are in New York, Florida, and I even have one in Vegas. So some of the long distance are the best friendships because they understand we got busy lives. We're not gonna talk every day. We may go a few months without speaking, but hey, I'm gonna text you, hey, you good? Or like me, if I text you and you don't respond, I may say, well, they probably busy. They may be going through something. or they may not receive the text. But if I text you again and you don't respond, then I'm gonna pick up the phone and call. Are you good? I'm not one of those
Mhm.
people that believe I'm not one of those people that's gonna put it on myself. You know how some people say, well, if you don't text, respond, or answer, all they think, oh, they acting funny. I'm one of those people. Let me see and make sure they're okay because they could be going through something. But then some other people may look at it as, well, they acting funny. They ignoring me. And I'm just not. I just sometimes, like I said, I need Tory days sometimes. And there's people that was like, well, she ignoring me. Man, that ain't the case. It's not even about you. Check to
I
make sure
find
I'm
that
good.
for where I am in my life as an adult,
Mhm.
like a lot of these things or things like that sound just a
Childish.
little bit teenager-ish,
Mhm.
schoolgirl-ish. And I'm not
Mhm.
there, and I really don't have friends like that. I have friends who are very well aware when, the time has expired. I just wear my energy, and when I've had enough, I had enough. I'm also that type of friend if you're a friend in my life, right?
Mhm.
And, I meet you at a certain point, and we're hanging out, but it's not just about to hang out. I want you to be growing. I want you to be developing. It's not just for us to have idle conversations. We're not just gonna be talking about, did you watch Scandal on TV or whatever popular show? We can do that. There's room for that. But I wanna know what you're doing in your work life, your entrepreneurial life. Are there things that you wanna get done? If we're having a conversation and you say, "You know what, T, I need to, I wanna redo my kitchen floor," right? And you tell me that. Cool. You're doing some improvements. But if a year later you still haven't changed a tile or you haven't, you want to start a business, you still haven't, registered or at least come up with the business name, that concept, I feel like, listen, I'm not being a valuable friend to you because you need to be growing and improving because trust me, I will be. I love learning. I love learning. I love learning new things. And if you're going to be a friend of mine and we're in this life journey, you're going to have to be growing too. You can't just, be here talking about we're friends and then you're not doing anything. So our friendship is going to expire because we don't have very many things in common, it seems. You just want to be my friend just to for what? To be my friend? No. I need to be
Right.
valuable to you and you need to be valuable to me.
Right. And you know what? And then there's some people that are going to try to be your friend just because who you are. Because I actually met a young lady out of, well, I can't say where, but because you may know who I'm talking about. But this person latched onto me just so that she could say that we were friends because everybody don't know I've been in radio for 23 years. And
Mhm.
so they're like, well, I'm friends with Tori that's on the radio. Yeah, that's my friend. But it wasn't you were not my really weren't my friend really for real. You just was saying you were my friend just so people will say, well, oh, you're friends with Tori from the radio. I'm like, okay, because this person portrayed me to the utmost as well. I mean, that was one of those portrayals that there wasn't any coming back from. So some people will
Wow.
try to pretend to be your friend just because of who you are and because of how people love you. They want to be your friend. They want to be attached to you because of how people love you, or they may try
Mhm.
to be your friend because of clout, a clout chaser
Mhm.
when it's not
Right.
like that. I genuinely love people. I genuinely want to see people win because for yourself, I like to show up and celebrate people. I like to
Oh,
support
yeah.
events. I like to be there and let people know that I truly care. And if I tell you that I'm coming or that I'm going to support, I'm a woman of my word. I don't like to tell you something and I don't do what I say I'm going to do. And if
Right.
something comes up and I'm not able to do what I say, it bothers me. Like, oh, I told him. If I have to understand, Tori, life happens. Sometimes things prevent you from doing what you said, but for the most part, I'm gonna keep my word.
Right. I feel you. You gotta keep your word, but you also gotta maintain and keep your energy, you know what I mean? I see Drunk got another
Right.
comment.
At this point in my life, I feel associates are better than friends. Like if we the same place, we hang out, but we're not making plans. Drunk, I want to meet you in person. I like him. I want to meet you in person.
We've been debating on who is that picture of? Is that a basketball player? I thought it was Drake. Who did you say it was, Tori?
Listen, I just said it's a basketball player. I don't know who now because I don't watch basketball. It looked like Drake, but Drake don't play basketball.
I know, but I
Drunk,
mean,
who is
he
that
don't play
picture?
basketball.
Who
I
is
don't know, but you're right. It does look like somebody holding a trophy, but I don't know. It still kind of looks like Drake to me. But my eyes are of an age, that feels different from my mind.
listen, and I got my glasses on. I still don't know.
What? Wait a minute. What
Listen,
drunk
what?
saying?
It's about you don't want to meet me, Tori. I'm a terrible friend. Drunk, we can be associates. We can be associates. I'm all for that. Like yo, drunk. What up? Where you at? Where we eating at? Because I love to eat now.
Hey, I was right.
Okay, so that is Drake. That's Drake when
That's
when
Drake.
he's Ronta one. So why is Drake holding the trophy though? Or you just why? I'm confused.
Because Drake.
So why he holding the trophy though?
Because he Drake. He's from Toronto. Toronto won the finals, and I guess of course he had floor seats or whatever the case may be. He's in that
Oh,
crowd.
okay.
He's one of those
Oh,
friends.
oh,
He's
okay.
friends of the players. Hell, he might be
Okay,
friends with the
okay.
owners. You know,
Probably,
so
probably because
that's
I'm
why he
confused.
got to hold the trophy.
And
So
y'all
we were
gotta
both right.
understand. Yeah, but y'all gotta understand. I recently found out. I think Tanya today when we were talking. I probably should say this out loud. But a lot of the newer artists, I don't know who they are. Like when people say Drake or when we were talking about Sierra, about Future, I don't know these people. I have to
Mhm.
Google stuff. If I don't know, I have to Google like some like when people talk about Drake. I didn't know who they were talking about. When they talk about Gucci Man
Listen,
or somebody, they were saying, I was like, who was that?
listen, you get to do that. Now, I will have a problem with you if you didn't know who Stevie Wonder was, Aretha
Oh yeah.
Franklin. Oh, I had to pull you to the side. Nina Simone. I'm like, Tori, now wait a minute now. Come on.
Now you speak
But
in my language. And Drunk says,
okay.
he says also a team ambassador. This started off as a little troll YouTube account, but I tend to find real conversations. Yes.
Okay,
Like I
okay,
said, I
okay.
still want to meet you though. Even though you don't want to meet me, I still want to meet you.
But look, listen at what he's saying though. That's kind of deep. That's kind of deep what he just said.
Yeah,
He said
yeah. It-
it started off as a little troll YouTube account, but I tend to find real conversations. Interesting.
yeah.
Interesting.
So that makes sense now why your name why your name is what it is. That makes sense.
I was like, now why would you, I'm thinking like a mother. I'm like, now, why would you choose a name like Drunk Baby? Why would you put that online? Why would you do that? Don't let the people know that. You can go to AA, you can get help. There's help for that. Who,
Right.
who are your friends that they let you put your username as drunk? What about your friends?
Right.
That's what I was thinking. But
But
hey,
I love his comments. His comments are always so deep. I love the
yeah,
conversation when he joins us. I'm glad he's here today.
always,
Yeah.
always. He comes in sometimes when we do the Brown South Girls, which by the way, shameless plug. We will be on Sunday at 6 o'clock because it will be the last Sunday of the month. That's right. KJ and Miss Tanya. I'm the mama. She's the daughter. So we got some stuff that we're going to be talking about on Sunday. Brown South Girl stuff. But get back to the friends. Why did you want to
Yeah.
talk about friendship? You getting all hurt over friends, over the breakups of friendships. I want you to do
Because
better. As a friend, I want you to be better.
because I genuinely love people, like, from a pure place,
Tori,
and
I
people
love
don't
people too.
and I'm intentional, and people I don't understand how people can feel good about themselves when they just hurt people and they don't have any remorse.
See, you going
I
too
just have a
deep.
problem. I'm just saying, I'm telling you, Tanya, I place a lot of value on friendships. I really do.
I don't.
I do. I love people. I genuinely love
I
people from a pure
love
place.
people. That is why I know not to put very much value into that. If you
Yeah,
understand what I'm saying, I love people,
yeah.
but I am also a realist. I am paying attention to your character. I am being
Mhm.
very upfront with who I am and what I have to offer. And I am listening to the things that you were saying and what you may have to offer in terms of whatever the dynamic of the friendship or relationship is. But I'm not worried if things go a different way. I just realized that there had to have been a lesson here for me, I should
Yeah,
say. What is that
yeah.
lesson? Because
Uh,
oftentimes, and we know this to be true, if we're going to take this into the real value of what friendships truly are about, they're reflections of, it's like putting that mirror up, allowing us to see who we are, allowing us to understand what our triggers are. Because when someone hurts you to whatever magnitude that you feel, you really should just kind of like stop and look at like, why is this affecting me like this? Why do I feel like this particular person that I consider a friend have to do certain things? Like, what are the conditions that I've really placed on this friendship? And why have I done that? You know?
mm,
So that's where
that's
I
good.
go with it.
That's good. That's good. I'm trying to get there, Tanya, but I'm not there yet. And hey, Quita, put that on the screen. She said, "I like Miss Quita. Tanya's a whole vibe. Quita's my girl. I call Quita. She gonna get me, but I call Quita May. But that's my girl. She said, I like
Oh,
Miss Tanya. Yeah, Tanya is a whole vibe. I'm telling you, if you meet her in person, you
thank
are a real.
you.
But I'm learning. I'm
It's
taking it
not
all in,
true.
Tanya.
I read It's not
You
true,
would.
Quita girl. Don't you believe it? Don't you? I already told you in the beginning of this show. I already said it. I don't give a about these friends. If you understand what I'm saying, I don't give a about none of these friends, and they're not gonna
not,
upset me. They're not. I
not to
have a
be, but
whole grown life. I am a whole mother with children, and there are just too many things for me to do to be worried
yeah,
about something someone said because we were
yeah,
friends. Okay, we were. We were.
yeah.
Do you, girl?
Right. I'm getting there, Tanya. I'm not there yet. I'm not
If
there
you
yet.
think I won't go to the movies or go sit down at
Woo.
El Agave by myself and eat lunch, you lie.
Now I'll do that now. I'll take myself out, but I'm one of those people like, what did I do? Why, like what did I do to this person? They just stopped talking to me. And I didn't and a lot of times I don't do anything. They just stop talking. But I'm
But
learning.
what
Like I
about
said,
if they have something deeper going on in their life?
yeah.
What if they have something going on in their family life? They're going through some type of grief, some type of in-home situation that they just may not have found the space or mind capacity to talk about yet. What about that?
Well, I thought about that. There was one particular friendship. That's good. Trump says, "Do y'all feel like all deep friendships come from some level of drama?" Ooh,
Mhm. Mhm.
not all, but most. A
A
lot of
whole
them
lot
do.
of them.
But what I was gonna
Many.
say, but what I was gonna say before I lose my train of thought, I lost a friend a few months ago, and that was because we had a mutual friend, and they actually fell apart. But I'll say friend A wanted to talk to me about friend C, and I didn't allow A to talk to me about C. So because I didn't allow A to talk to me about C, then A just fell totally off the planet. A felt like I wasn't being loyal to them when I was friends with both of them. I didn't allow C to talk about A. I'm just trying to I'm a neutral person. But if you want to talk to me, because my thing is, I don't care what someone tells me about a person. I experience people for myself. There's nothing that
Right.
you say to make me change my view of another person. So because I shut it down, because I'm that friend that I'm going to defend you when you're not around. I'm that friend gonna have your back when you're not around. But A did like wanted me to talk, allowed them to talk to me about C, and I wasn't having it. I shut it down. So then that person felt to me that, you know what, I'm not going to talk to Tori anymore because Tori's not allowing me to talk about them. So I'm like, okay. Now there's some friendships, I get it, that it wasn't a loss for me. It was actually a gain because it was,
Right.
was negative. I don't do negativity. I don't do drama. So that wasn't a loss. That was actually a
I
gain
was
for me.
gonna say that. I was gonna
Yeah.
say sometimes I kind of love this actually. I
Mhm.
love when that type of person kind of exit themselves out of my life,
Yeah.
so it doesn't have to make me do it.
Mhm.
I love
Mhm.
that. Just go
Yeah.
ahead and exit. You did the work for me, you did the hard work for me. Float,
Mhm.
float on. There's a song about it. Float, float on. And I have no problems with that because once again, when it comes to that type of thing, because I too am not a gossipy friendship type of girl. And
Right.
people tend to gossip and even if they are a gossiper, we could still maintain some level of friendship because there is going to get a point in the conversation where you're going to realize that I am not responding to that and that I am
Right.
changing the conversation. So I am
Right.
gonna gear the conversation to where we can actually have a conversation. I'm not getting
Right.
ready to go back to the other person to just and discuss it. I do not have to defend someone. I don't feel
Mhm.
that way either because I'm not taking in what the person is saying. Who I am defending is myself. I am defending myself and my energy. I'm not going to allow you to sit in front of me or be in my ear and continuously downplay or degrade someone, I will change that conversation or I will end that conversation. And no, it's not about that. I don't feel like I have to defend anyone. They defend themselves and their own character because a lot of the times, even in the gossip,
Mhm.
it's true or there is some truth involved in it. You know, there's some truth. No one is completely innocent. No one's all the I don't wanna say they're all the way guilty, but no one is completely innocent. Whatever friction is between those persons, they did something to each other, you know? And no, they're
Yeah.
not gonna drag me into the middle of it. If I have lunch with A, we're gonna have lunch, whatever the case may be. If you and C are not communicating, I'm not communicating with you about C. C and I
Right.
can have a conversation. You don't even it's not a secret that I had lunch with A. But we're not having a conversation about it. You guys aren't friends. You're not having conversations with each other, so don't talk to me about each other. And that's just how it is. I can be a
Yeah.
friend with people who are not friends with each other. I can be.
Right.
Now,
Yeah. And
it's not something that is it's not common. I can't say that it's a common thing, but I'm not gonna be involved in any type of way. I'm not. You're gonna have to make me feel like I don't wanna be around you. That's
right.
it.
Right. Right.
I
And
see Piece of
let me
Cake has a comment.
go ahead. Conflict is a natural part of any relationship, but drama doesn't have to be. A lot of people lack emotional intelligence and are immature, so they create unnecessary aspects with the existing conflict. Oh, that's
There
a
you
whole
go.
word right there. A
You
lot of
understand?
people lack emotional intelligence. Whoo, hello. That's a word right there. And some
Right,
people
right,
don't even
right.
know what emotional intelligence is. And Drunk says it sounds like Miss Tanya cutoff game is legend. It ain't it though. And see, I used to be like that
Mm.
when I was
You
in
better
my
ask some
20s.
men folk about it. It's worse for them. Oh, I
Listen,
didn't say that
and
live, did I? I'm sorry.
and I used to be like that, but see, like, the older I done got a little soft. Because somebody told me, like, "Tori, why you done got all soft?" And Drunk said, "Put that comment, the last one back up there." That's actually a great comment, Kate. Yeah, it really was. Because a lot
Mhm.
of people like emotional intelligence. And what I was gonna say was when you talk about what I mean when I say I defend the person in their absence. What I mean is like say I'm at a restaurant or wherever and someone is having a conversation and they're talking about let's say they're talking about Tanya and Tanya's not around, but there's a group of people talking and they're saying all these negative things about you. And I'm like, she's not like that.
Girl,
That's just
I
me. That's what I
listen,
mean
I
when I
get
say
what
defend. Because it's
no,
like
I
when you
get what
don't
you're
say
saying.
anything, it's like you
No,
condoning
listen,
what they're
I get what you're
saying.
saying, but let me help you out here a little bit as it relates to
Okay.
me. Girl,
Okay.
mm, you better let them talk. Let me tell you why.
Okay.
Because I might have done said thing. Because they might be that type of let me find some language that I could use. They might be that really deserve what I'm giving to them because I I'm giving that same energy. I am not mean to a person who is kind. That is just not
Yeah.
where I'm
Yeah.
coming from. I don't wake up in the
Mm.
morning and feel like, who can I destroy today? Who could I be mean to today? There has
Yeah.
to be a reason for it. And I'm not nice to everyone. I'm not. And I don't
Mm.
think that it's a requirement for me to be. I can feel the people who are not for me. There are people who are not for me. They're not real. They're fake. They know that they're fake. I know, just like we were talking about people who we would see in certain situations and they want to come and they want to hug and they want to be one of the in group who say, "Oh yeah, I know her," or make it seem like the friendship is more than it is. No,
Yeah.
I'm not nice to you. I'm very cold, I'm very standoffish, very unapologetic about it, but within all the kindness, the people who are sincere with me, I am sincere with
Mm.
them, so I don't need to be defended in my absence. Let them talk. Let them
Right.
talk because they have nothing to gain from me, and they know they're getting nothing from me, and that's why the conversation is where it is.
You're absolutely right. Because it's I'm glad you said that because some situations and friends or people that I was offending, there was actually some truth in what was being
Yeah,
said.
let me
And I'm
tell you
defending
something.
it, but I'm not around them all the time. Go ahead.
I know people who be talking about me, and I show right up and I will still smile. I don't mind. I know what you said, but it doesn't bother
Right.
me, especially when I know who I am. And it's not
Right.
gonna bother me
Absolutely.
at all.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Drunk says the older I get, the more I just enjoy my own time and friends are more rich than rude lately. Mm. There is some truth into that though, because I'm
Yeah.
loving my alone time. I'm loving my alone time. So that there is some truth into that. Some friends are just not worth having. And if you got one good friend, that's really all you need. If that.
Yeah.
Because the
Be
love
a
starts from
friend to
within.
yourself.
Absolutely. Like
But
Beyonce
you
said,
need
me,
you need
myself, and I.
friendship. I don't want to give you guys the wrong impression, like, I just don't give a rip about friends at all because that absolutely isn't the case. I value friendship. But my thing is, we have to know and recognize those different relationships. Recognize that some friends are just casual. Some friends are close friends. Some friends are just work friends. We're friends at work. That's it.
Yeah.
Don't call me. Don't we not hanging out? You don't know where I live. But when we go to work, you my friend. You know what I'm saying? We hang I might see you at the snack machine. I like honey buns too. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
you've got to know those categories of friendship and respect the boundaries. I think people have lost the art of setting and appreciating boundaries, and I feel like Social media has played a large role in that because we see people online, we're hearing them talk like what you and I are doing now. So people really feel like they have a sense of who we are. We're having these conversations, these chats back and forth, and they don't know who we are. They don't know who we are
Right.
behind these pictures or like just like Drunk, for instance, where he said he started his account out as a troll account and he actually
Mhm.
has a picture up of Drake. It's not even
Mhm.
him. So
Right.
who is that behind there? We don't know who that is. And even though the pictures of us, they are pictures, they still do not 100% have a clue of so much that's going on in our lives. They're just seeing highlight reels or seeing content that we're creating if we're content creators. So I feel like people don't understand boundaries like they once did. You feel like you know everybody. You feel like you know everything about them.
Right. And they're showing you the highlights, like you said. A lot of people only
Right.
post what they want you to see because a lot of times they're posting stuff that's just an image. They're posting the pictures of like a lot of times, especially when it comes to Facebook, people are really good about posting images, and they it seems like they forget that people know you in real life. You're posting this happy, with oh we so in love, but you know how much they're fighting like cats and dogs.
Right.
People only promote and post what they want you to see. So
Right.
I don't believe half of what I see.
Hmm.
I'm like, "Oh,
Hmm.
okay. I do know you in
And
real
I'll
life.
tell you
Oh,
this,
okay."
you can. And since
Right.
we're talking about people who kind of how social media has really changed the dynamics of what friendships are and how people
Mhm.
can feel like they know who you are or getting a view into your life, uh, just like some of the friends that you kind of cut off,
Right.
and they create accounts so that they can find you.
Right.
So they create, these I don't know if they're called troll accounts. I don't know what you really call them, but they know that they have to do that because you block them in every other space, so you've got
Right.
that. So I'm very aware of all of these things that are happening online, and you have to be aware. You have to be aware of I think the biggest thing is to value and know what type of friend you are. And I'll
Mhm.
say this, Tori, you're right. You almost wear your heart on your sleeve. You're a great person, you're a great friend. You're always supportive to people. Uh yes, you are a flower given woman. I'm telling you, you wear out a florist. Yes, you do. But that's great. And people need friends like you. And you value friendship. So that's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. I just I'm just a little different. I'm different. So we're gonna wrap
Oh,
up this conversation. What about your friends?
post
Right?
drunk
So y'all know the
last
difference.
account. Post drunk
Say that again.
last comment. Post drunk last comment. Okay, well, this account was just to troll sport chats, no stalking.
Drunk,
That's what's
drunk.
up.
Listen, listen. I wasn't saying that about you, drunk. We're talking about the potentiality of that, that exists. But thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
We had a nice chat. And you know what?
you.
I considered you a friend.
Absolutely, I consider you a valuable friend as well.
Yes, you
Absolutely. That's why I
always.
try to show up as much as I can for you and my
Oh,
people. That's just me though, Tanya. I'm just being
yep,
Tori.
and don't change for anybody. Just understand, you know, just
Yeah,
understand what you have to do for your peace. And if your
right,
peace says, "Hey,
right.
I'm not gonna make this event," I just will not make the event. You can't feel that way. I love it. I
Absolutely.
love when we're here and we know that we're here for people, but there are times and there are situations when you just can't do everything. And if the other person is being a friend to you, then they understand that. They understand that without great explanation. You shouldn't have to
Right.
explain so many things to a friend because if they've known you to be a person that could be counted on, if you make a decision to not be there, I don't even need to know why. You
Right.
dig? That's a friend.
Right. 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 Absolutely.
That's a
I
friend.
enjoyed this conversation today. Ooh,
Yes,
I
always.
enjoyed it.
But
But I
you
like
are
No, I was just gonna say, I'm tuning in every day though, because like I said, I love what you're doing and I love the concept of I can just sit here relaxing with my t-shirt and my gym shorts on, with my bonnet and my glasses on and just chilling. Y'all don't even know, but y'all know what I got on now because I told you. But I just love the fact that people can actually listen to what we're saying and just
right.
join in the conversation. Salute,
Absolutely.
drunk. Have a wonderful day as well.
Yeah, man. Have a great, great day. So enjoy the rest of your day. It was your lunch break. Everybody who's out here, I'm glad you took a little bit of time to reclaim your time. That's important. We started out and we take a few breaths and kind of shake off what could have kind of got us in a little funky mood, a funky space. Breathe it on off. That's what we do. We have a little conversation because conversations are important. We're always going to talk it out on Tuesdays. It's going to be Talk It Out Tuesdays with Tori. Good, good people. And I love talking to Tori. We talked about friends today. And I know you guys have friends, and I know that you consider yourself a friend. So be a good friend and be a good friend to yourself. I feel like it's time for us to get back into our day. I feel like it's time for us to breathe it on out. Time for us to get in that vibe. Get in that vibe. You know how we do it. We're going to breathe in at the count of 4 and we're going to hold it a few seconds. We're going to exhale and we're going to hold that a few seconds. And then we're going to do that a few times. Let's go. Inhale to the count of 4. Hold a few seconds. Exhale. Hold a few seconds. Inhale. Hold a few seconds. Exhale. Hold that a few seconds. Inhale one more time. And hold that for a few seconds. And exhale. Shake it off. Shake it off and smile. Put a smile on your face. You don't need anything else to make you feel good when you've got a smile on your face because you feel it. You intentionally did that for yourself. We did it again. We had another great conversation. I want to thank you guys. Thank you for being a part of it. I'll be back here tomorrow. You guys, enjoy the rest of your day. One love.